Good morning everyone. Hi, I'm Sharm, and today we're going to explore how we can maximize our method C, which is negative caloric intake, to reduce our body fat or unhealthy weight. In order to do this successfully, we need to know a few things, in particular the factors that influence caloric intake and caloric expenditure. Let's do a quick rundown of the factors that influence our energy intake. First of all, our appetite. In order to manage your appetite, you need to know how to manage your hormones. You also need to know how to manage your satiety levels. So if you are constantly eating like empty carbs, you will not get full easily. You won't remain full for a long period of time. So instead of eating unhealthy carbs such as white rice or pasta, you may want to replace that with veggie instead, because veggie has got more fiber, and in terms of satiety, it keeps you fuller longer. Next is environment. So the environment that you are in actually plays an important part to control your food intake. There's political factors, there's economic factors, there's also socio-cultural. In my culture, we tend to eat breakfast. I think a lot of other cultures are also like this. And if I keep on doing this, and if I eat copious amounts of breakfast every day, but I want to lose weight, that is not going to happen. Looking at my environment, I know that my culture is so. If it is a culture for me to go out with friends and family to eat all the time or eat unhealthy food all the time, I need to do a little bit of introspection and not blame the culture that we have, but perhaps I would like to change some of the things that I'm eating or have a little lesser food when we go out. That way, by not keeping up with everyone else in terms of eating more, will help me in my journey to fat loss. Next factor that we want to talk about is the palatability or the reward. See, every kind of food that we eat has got its own characteristics. There's texture, there's different flavors, and of course there's energy density, right? So energy density is such as, let's look at a Mars bar. So Mars bar is just such a small little thing, right? And it's got how many calories? So it's got a high level of calories in such a small little package. And when we consume that, we feel perhaps happy, like we are eating something nice. But the amount of calories that we consume, we have to consider whether it's worth it or not. I'm not saying that you should not eat any Mars bars at all. You can, it's just that you should not eat it all the time, especially if you're trying to lose weight by doing this method C. Perhaps instead of having a full Mars bar, we can have half a Mars bar and have something healthier on top of that. Next, of course, is the mind. Mindset, mind control, the psychology of caloric reduction. It is not only about planning. You plan to have less food, you plan to have less sweet drinks, but the mind actually is something that you need to work on first before we plan ahead. So if we know that our so-called willpower is not as strong as we want it to be, instead of going cold turkey or all out of not having any sweet drinks, you can have your sweet drinks, but strategize. One strategy is simply have a glass of plain water before any kind of sweet drinks. Actually, this plain water strategy is actually very smart, because when you fill in your tummy with plain water, usually the brain gets a signal that, hey, I am not as hungry as I think I am. Yeah, so have this water first. So that helps in the mindset. The other is, of course, your perceived control, how you can tahan not eating or drinking. And if you know that it is not super strong, it is okay. We can build this up. Next is self-esteem. See, our self-esteem goes up and down every day. Yeah, and it is when it is at its low is when we tend to eat more. So be mindful of how your self-esteem is for the day and do a little bit of analysis. And if you feel that your self-esteem is like on the lower side, do some things to increase the self-esteem, make yourself happier, do things that boost your ego slightly more. Okay, now we talk about the factors that affect energy output or caloric expenditure. First of all, if your metabolic rate. Now, this is the calories used when you are not exercising. It is very important for us to have a high metabolic rate so that we can enjoy the food that we consume and not spend countless hours in the gym. I made an earlier video on this, so you might want to check it out. So one quick way to do this is to increase muscle mass, and you can do this easily by going to the gym, lifting weights, something that's relatively heavy, and you can lift, press, pull, hinge for 6 to 12 reps. Next is exercise activity. We always hear that we need to do at least 10,000 steps a day. Is it true? In order to lose weight, we need 10,000 steps. Actually, it is 20,000 steps. 10,000 steps is a guideline for you to keep your weight, not to lose weight. In order to lose weight, you need to have at least 20,000 steps a day. I know that it may sound daunting a bit and a little bit stressful thinking about how you can clock 20,000 steps. So don't worry too much about it, because if you are now currently doing like 8,000 steps, you may want to try and progressively bring it up to 10,000, and then 12,000, 14,000, and so on and so forth. But one easy way to do it is to have a structured program or a protected time where you do your brisk walks or a little bit of jogging, because jogging usually you'll get more steps in as compared to brisk walking. And when you have that protected time, that is where you can clock 20,000 steps. Next is non-exercise activity. Things such as walking to the bus stop, climbing up staircase, doing house chores, things like this. So by doing these activities, you will burn more calories. Next is the thermal effect of food. It is simply this: when we consume food, when we drink sweet drinks, let's say, your body will burn calories in order to metabolize this food. The body will burn more or less calories depending on the type of food that we consume. For example, if I were to eat white rice, the body will not burn as many calories from this thermal effect of food as compared to if I were to consume, let's say, broccoli. So when I eat more broccoli as compared to rice, which is much better, by the way, because we know that broccolis are the superstars of vegetables, right? So when I eat more broccoli, when we eat more broccoli, we will burn more calories. Now we know the factors that influences caloric intake and also caloric expenditure. With this knowledge of the things, the factors that influence caloric expenditure and caloric intake, we can now change, modify, or tweak our lifestyle and perhaps make some changes to our habits to put us in a favorable position so that we can lose unhealthy weight and excess body fat. Without knowing these factors that influence us, it is just going through the motion without making changes in our lifestyle. Is going to be just another diet. And as we know, diet is not long term. It has to be lifestyle changes. I hope this little sharing of mine benefits you and everyone else that watches this. If you like this video, you know what to do. Hit the like button, share it in your timeline. I'd be so grateful if you could do that, because my vision as a coach is to help as many people as possible. If you need any kind of assistance to lose unhealthy weight or body fat, you know what to do. Feel free to email me or contact me, PM, DM me. I'll do my best to assist you. In the meantime, be mindful of the things that you eat and do move more. See ya.